Good Thursday morning, friends. It's Thursday, October 8th, and it's actually early morning Thursday, October 8th. I'm looking about 12:30 a.m. for recording this right now, so you're probably just tuning in. If you're on the East Coast, maybe, gosh, you're looking at 3:30 right now. So anyway, good Thursday morning. We're a little bit delirious right now. Actually, we just wrapped our second to final day of shooting. So we've got one more day left, and that's tomorrow. And so it's just been nonstop. David, he's in bed, so we're putting in some long days, but really, really cool stuff. If you guys don't mind, I just want to jump into just a few of the questions so I can start chipping away at these and answering some really important questions that you guys are asking. One's coming in from Kim. I don't know where Kim's writing in from, but she says she's not a big meat eater, and she loves her protein shakes 1 to 2 times a day. So do I. She's usually using the Champion Pure Whey Stack. What are your opinions on protein shakes and other supplements? Well, I absolutely love protein shakes. I think they're probably one of the fastest, the cheapest, and one of the best quality sources of protein. They're going to make your lifestyle so much easier and so much more affordable. So keep in mind, guys, like, we're eating 5 times a day. And when you're eating 5 times a day, of course, we're always going to be recommending protein for each of those meals. Of course, there's a million different schools of thought when it comes to combining your foods and carbs and proteins and whatnot. But just for simplicity's sake, we are eating protein with every single meal. And it's important that I actually want to feed you the right amount of protein based on the amount of tissue that you have on your body. We actually have to feed that tissue, and we have to feed the muscle tissue, not the fat tissue. So we're typically consuming between 15 and even upwards of 45, sometimes even 50 grams of protein. Now, for you physiologists watching, of course, you know that we're going to be overspilling just a little bit there, but that's fine. It takes the body a lot of energy to try to convert any extra protein into body fat. It ends up burning a ton of calories just in the conversion process. So I'm not worried about actually consuming a little bit extra protein. Granted, it might tax the kidneys a little bit, but that's why we drink a lot of water. So protein shakes, I absolutely love them. I think they're fantastic. There's a bunch of incredible brands out there as well. So fortunately, they're becoming so popular nowadays. You can find a lot of different brands, and there's a lot of competition. You know, the one beautiful thing about competition is that number one, it makes it a little bit more affordable. It makes everybody else more affordable, and the quality goes up. So really, when it comes to finding the best protein shake for you, find one that's going to taste really good. But the one thing I'm going to ask you is, of course, really start to look for a lot of the protein shakes out there that don't have artificial sweeteners in them. And of course, those artificial sweeteners being sucralose, aspartame, which is a big no-no, and those are usually the two big ones. Another one I want you to look for is ACE-K is what it's called, or acesulfame potassium. And big names, but just look for ACE-SULFAME potassium, sucralose, or of course aspartame. Now, they do have some wonderful natural sweeteners like stevia, or some really light amounts of fructose are fantastic for your protein shakes. When it comes to buying and finding the right protein shake, so of course we want to avoid those artificial sweeteners. Now, I've actually got a label here, and I apologize that the lights are a little bit intense, but hopefully you can see this. See fat right up top, only sitting about 1 gram. Of course, whey protein is coming from an animal source, so there is cholesterol in it. Total carbohydrates, we're always aiming for less than 5 grams on there. And on here, we're sitting at about 3.5 grams of carbohydrate. Protein on this per scoop is about 16 grams. You're usually going to find it between 12 and 25 grams per scoop. And so, of course, the amount is just going to be dependent on your size. So these protein shakes are fantastic. They're inexpensive. And I tell you what, look for your protein shakes online. There's a really good place where I always get mine, buybulkwhey.com. When you're buying your protein shakes in bulk, keep in mind, we want to do as much shopping in bulk as possible because it makes our lifestyle extremely inexpensive. And you can get some really good quality food on there. So buybulkwhey.com. That's usually one of the sources that I always like to go to. They've just got really good non-flavored and flavored whey proteins. They've got some good chocolate, they got some good vanilla, and of course non-flavored. I actually purchased the non-flavored whey, and that way I can blend my shakes the way I like to, with frozen fruit, with cocoa powder, with my own stevia. I actually throw in psyllium fiber husks so I can get plenty of fiber into my diet during the days as well. So it's really cool. I prefer the non-flavored wheys because that way I can get creative and I can make it however I want. So hopefully that answered some of your questions about whey proteins. I really can't recommend them strong enough. Now, word of warning here, some people who are lactose sensitive, they actually can be sensitive to whey protein, so it can create some gastric distress. Beware of a little bit of gastric distress, and if you are lactose sensitive, there are other incredible powdered protein sources, like they've actually got powdered egg protein, they've got powdered pea protein, they've got powdered rice protein, now they've got powdered hemp protein. So you can find a bunch of different powdered protein sources that are actually coming from plants now, especially for you vegetarians out there, for you vegans, and for those of you who are sensitive to whey or to dairy products. Then you can always get your powdered proteins from other sources. Once again, they're extremely inexpensive. They're about half the cost of your typical protein sources, like your chicken and your steak. So protein shakes, great stuff. I'll always be coming at you guys with a little bit more detail there, so hopefully that answers some questions. Next question. Oh, I would like to know your opinion of the Time magazine article that stated that exercise doesn't make you lose weight. Have you read it yet? From Sherry in Oxnard, California. Spent a lot of time in Camarillo, and beautiful place, Oxnard. I love it over there. Well, Sherry, no, I haven't actually read that article. There are a ton of articles coming out, even in national publications, that they make such broad statements. So by saying that exercise does not make you lose weight, what they're doing is that they're actually taking this huge, instead of actually sitting underneath the lamppost and saying, okay, physiologically what is happening in the body during exercise, they're trying to take it up to this 50,000 foot level with this extremely broad statement saying it does not make you lose weight. Perhaps during the actual bout of exercise, the amount of weight loss during a bout of exercise would be so minimal. Now keep in mind, I mean, if say you're going to be doing an hour of cardiovascular exercise. Nutritionally, you've strategically structured your nutrition so that during this bout of cardiovascular exercise, you're maximizing your oxidative capacity, which means essentially your body's burning fat for fuel. You might lose, we're talking fractions of ounces of fat. Perhaps you might burn fractions of ounces of muscle. So the amount of weight actually lost during a small bout of exercise is minimal. However, what exercise does do is it boosts metabolic rate, and also it creates this cascading domino effect of hormones in your body, which will actually trigger your body to lose weight throughout the rest of the day. Now, granted, don't focus on weight loss during that 10-minute, 30-minute, or 1 hour bout of exercise. The majority of your weight loss is during the other 23 hours of the day. Nutrition drives your weight loss. I'll say it again, nutrition drives your weight loss. So keep that in mind. Exercise will always accelerate your results. That's actually why we call exercise accelerators. And we call MetaBoost, because I wanted to create a language based around what we're actually doing in the body. So keep in mind, during the actual bout of exercise, the amount of weight loss is minuscule. However, post-exercise, that's when we're reaping all the benefits. So it's not about that 10, 30 minutes or 1 hour during the day. It's the 23 hours during the day when you make or break it. That's why nutrition is so important. That's why nutrition is the foundation of everything that we do. Nutrition is the foundation of everything that we do. I'm into repeating these things that are really, really important. I'll say it again. Nutrition is the foundation for everything that we do. That's why I love this carb cycling type lifestyle. It gives you a little bit of flexibility, but then we utilize our exercise, our MetaBoost, and those accelerators to accelerate, to exaggerate, to exacerbate everything that we're trying to do when it comes to our weight loss. It's just going to get us there that much faster. And that's really what we're trying to do, get you some results in half the time with half the effort.